Hello, you're welcome to the show. This is D Esperanza, brought to you by SubG TV Network. My name is Akbati Theresa and I have my co-host with me,
Atali Samba.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
My pleasure.
So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about prostitution in Nigeria. It's a topic that you are going to learn from. You're going to learn a whole lot from. So we're going to talk about why people go into prostitution. We're going to talk about the negative effects of being a prostitute, and of course what are the solutions to help curb and reduce the rates at which many young people are going into prostitution. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll dive deep into this topic. Stay with us. In the midst of an argument, he slapped me. Because I'm a woman, I'm told to hold my peace when my husband cheats on me, to keep quiet when he flirts, to sit down while he satisfies his desires, groanings upon groanings. I'm told to save my marriage, but what if the bank rejects it? You're welcome back to the show. So first of all, prostitution is when people give sex for the sake of money, or should I say in return for money, right? Yes. And for some people it's a business. We have some madams, who organize some girls and they have clients where they just give those girls to them and they get money back. In fact, sometimes there are some commissions you get even if you refer them. It's like an empire for some. Yes, and some people even traffic these girls abroad, to work as sexual workers, right? Several parts of the country, and this is really, really wrong. So first of all, why do you think people go into prostitution?
Well, first and foremost, I think one of the reasons why people go into prostitution, as you said, is because of they need to cater for their needs.
Yes, they have needs that need to be met.
Yes, and one other thing is, I know most people will not agree with me, but we know that one of the reasons is inability to control their sexual urge. Because trust me, there are some women actually, they don't know how to control their sexual urge.
Yes. Apart from women, let's talk about the men that patronize these girls, because they also don't know how to control their sexual urges.
The men too has a big role to play, because even men are even worse.
Exactly, because their sexual urge is like ×2 of that of women. But honestly, like, because of this major sexual urge, many people are pushed to go. In fact, some get to the point where they don't even do it for money. They just do it just to satisfy their own sexual desires. Another reason is unemployment. So it's still related to they need to cater for their needs. Some of those girls have siblings and some are orphans, and they're thinking, oh, how do I cater for the needs of my other siblings? And they just think, prostitution is the way, because it's just the easy way out. Now, unemployment. Talking about unemployment, do you think unemployment is enough reason to go into prostitution?
Yeah, I think it is, because if you don't have the means to cater for your needs, and as you said, they have siblings also, they have family they need to, and there's no job. Trust me, and there's this normal saying that an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yes, an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
They're doing nothing, but that does
just come into their ears. Yes, and another reason is peer pressure. But before we dive deep into peer pressure, I would like to talk a bit about unemployment, like you mentioned. To me, the issue of unemployment is a facade, because at some point, we know that there's unemployment in the country, but there are several jobs that are actually out there. The only thing is many people are not humble enough
and
some of
them are even lazy.
Yes, because trust me, it pays to work hard. Even from that little job, you can keep working there and just start getting higher ones with time. By the time you gain knowledge, by the time and as you're working there, you can save enough money to just learn a skill, or work for somebody for free. Work for somebody. Let's say you want to be a nail technician now, and you're saying, okay, there is no job. As a girl, nail technician gets a lot of money these days.
Sure.
Even makeup artists get a lot of money these days. So let's say you don't have that skill yet, and you're thinking, okay, but I need money to try and just live like 2 months. Just tell the person, you know what, I just want to work for you for free. With time, you will learn that skill. By the time you learn the skill, you can use that skill for your own business.
Yes.
With time. So it pays to work hard. I really don't believe that there's unemployment. No, even though yes, we can say for the big jobs are not just coming out there like that. In fact, we're going to talk about how people gain employment through sex. Anyway, we will get there. Now let's talk about the issue of peer pressure, because people go into prostitution because of peer pressure.
Yes, for, let me say, for the ladies actually,
yes,
most of them, they like to copy their friends.
Yes.
And I just, let's imagine a situation where I have let I'm a lady.
Okay.
I have 2 or 3 friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're using iPhone. This popular iPhone.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Me, I'm just using a normal small phone. Let me not mention the name. I'll be feeling left out, like these girls are.
Yes, like they are doing big things, and so I'm not.
Most of those things will push me to want to be like them.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the things that really push them.
Yes, peer pressure is a major factor, and believe me, having an iPhone doesn't mean you're rich. Having an iPhone doesn't mean you're wealthy. It's not an achievement in any way. So you shouldn't feel pressured. If you're watching this video and you're feeling pressured, I'm talking to you today. If there's anything you're going to take out of this video, it should be this: having an iPhone is not an achievement at all. So you shouldn't be pushed because of what your friends are doing. I mean, if your friends enter fire, would you follow them enter fire? No. So what's the point? What's the point? Peer pressure is a very big issue, especially the feeling of rejection. They don't want to feel rejected. They don't want to feel left out. But you don't have to be among. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Don't live your life just to impress other people. I mean, it's like you're standing on quicksand. That is exactly what it's like. You're standing on quicksand. Now let's talk about sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is also a major reason why people go into prostitution.
Yes. On the issue of sexual abuse, I think it starts from the early age. If they are exposed to sexual abuse,
mm-hmm.
and they don't have the means to voice out at a very early
yes,
and they continue to do it continuously,
yes.
It just becomes part of
it just becomes a norm.
Yes, that's true.
It just becomes a norm. Now another reason is the issue of moral values. But I want us to talk about that in this second question. The second question is, what are the factors that are supporting and promoting prostitution in Nigeria? Now notice that these factors are also in the why that we mentioned before, and we said, of course. Now let's talk about moral decadence. I'm talking about moral values. Moral values is a factor because some of these kids are not well trained. They don't know the truth. They are not aware of the truth. They're not even aware of the fact that doing this is actually wrong. It's actually wrong. But if the parents know early that, not even the parents are even supposed to know. But when they start teaching them at a very early stage that, you know what, this is wrong. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. If someone is telling you, you know what, you should start having sex with people for money, you're supposed to say no, and a loud and resounding no for that matter. So what other factors support prostitution?
Other factor I think is as you've said, lack of parental care.
Yes.
And another factor is men.
Explain.
Some men, they don't even care. They just want to satisfy their sexual desires and stuff. And in most cases, all these women, they can be powerless. They have no choice.
Yes.
And these men, they don't even consider their choices. They just want to satisfy themselves.
Exactly. Because most of the time, when you ask a man for money, especially in this society, all they just do is, can you just...
Can you pay the price?
Can you pay the price? Honestly, can you actually pay the price? That's what they ask.
I know this happens even in schools.
Yes, in schools.
Where the lecturer will be telling the students, are you ready to
Yes, they give sex for grade and all of that. And the men really just want to satisfy them. But imagine that's your daughter. As in, let's think about. In fact, let's even talk about that as your daughter, because there are some men that actually sleep with their daughters.
Yes, that's where the issue of another factor is should I say sexual abuse.
Yes, sexual abuse. Yes. When a child is sexually abused at a very early stage. Yes, when a child is exposed, some of the children raped and all of that, and which is why we should always educate our children at a very early stage about sex. I know some people have a different opinion about this, but the truth is it is important.
Very important.
Because at a very young age, several children are exposed to sex, they are raped, and they don't even know what they are doing. They have no idea. Zero idea about what they're doing. But because the other person at the other end is just trying to fulfill his own sexual desires, he confuses the child, teaches the child what the child is not even supposed to even know, and then the child just ends up being a victim of rape. Apart from rape, there are certain times where you can actually convince a child that this thing you're about to do is actually sweet. And then the child just decides, and that way, is able to defend that, no, he didn't rape her, it was not forced.
Yes.
He just convinced her. Well, it's still rape. It is still rape. It is still rape. And because of that early exposure, the child now wants to do it in the future. It affects the child totally. Now let's talk about why it is rampant. What is the reason why it is so rampant? The first reason for me is the fact that it is acceptable by the society. I mean, in Nigeria, if you see a young girl on the streets and you can obviously see that this girl is a prostitute, nobody's going to judge her, nobody's going to talk about her or anything. Nobody's even going to say anything. But why is this so? Why is it so acceptable? Why is it so acceptable to be a prostitute? To do hookup?
Due to the situation, let me use Nigeria as an example.
Yes.
Due to the situation of the country, like everybody is saying no job. And they now welcome this idea of find any means to survive. So imagine maybe a girl is being asked, why are you doing this? She'll be like, you won't feed me. You understand?
Very true.
So, since there is no any other source of income, they just feel, this is the best way I can survive.
Yes.
And since you can't give them a means to survive on, so why discriminate?
Yes, why ask them? Why tell them why you're doing this when you can't give them? In fact, that's what they actually tell you. There's nobody to help me. My parents are not financially enabled.
Yeah,
they can't really help them. Now let's talk about government laws. Do you think the governments are doing enough? Do you think their laws are enough? And that is why, because of there are not enough laws to help, reduce the amount of prostitutes in the country. Do you think that also adds to why it is rampant?
The thing is, I don't think the government has really spoken anything about prostitution.
Honestly. Honestly,
they tackle other issues.
But not the issue of prostitution. Now, I would like to talk about Edo State. Now, in Edo State, the governor came out to say he has banned prostitution in the state. But mind you, several other girls are still disguising themselves as hawkers, as, legit workers. Meanwhile, they're actually selling themselves for money. So even his law is not even enough to ban it. And believe me, even if they are not doing this physically, they do this online.
Sure.
Talk them online. Because everything is digital, so they can just, how far, what's happening, let's hook up or stuff like that. So online is also, do you think they can even do something about online hookup?
Truth be told, I don't think they can.
Yes, because honestly, you chat with everybody, you chat with people, so it's not even possible for them to start seeing their private message and all of that.
Because the chat itself is private. Like on WhatsApp, they have something like something encryption. Yes. So I don't think they can monitor.
Monitor all of that. I can understand, but at the same time, I think what we should do is give them knowledge, educate people also. So that brings us to, are the excuses these prostitutes give enough? Are their excuses excusable? Like the excuse of no money, no employment, no jobs and all of that. Are these excuses excusable?
Well, I would say
To an extent.
But the truth is, they are not excusable.
Yes.
Because you can't tell me you are doing this out of poverty or out of not having enough money to sponsor yourself or cater for your needs. But the truth is, especially, do you know, let me even ask, do you know in Nigeria, women are more employed than men? They have job opportunities.
Very true. If I said we're coming to that,
so if they really want to work, they will.
Yes.
And they have high chances
the thing is, you have high chances of getting the job, right? Now the thing is, sometimes the reason why these women are getting more jobs than the men is because they sell themselves for these jobs also. There are some other now. I won't say rare cases because these cases are quite popular. You know, several men actually, before they even employ you or before they give you lead roles in the industry, some people give sex to get there. They give sex to get there, and it's bad. But for the men, there are some jobs that are exclusive to men.
Yeah, sure.
But we are not even going to just talk about men regarding this prostitution. We're also going to talk about women. Talk about men, because there are certain men who also sleep with married women. Yes, older women for money. The gigolos. They do this, honestly. But are the excuses these men give excusable? And the negative effect is that, you know, the husband of these women end up arresting them, sometimes beating them up. It's a lot.
You know, for the men, their excuses are not excusable
at all.
They want to. There's this popular thing as well now. They want to chill with the big boys.
Exactly.
You know,
and funny
so
enough,
they have to do things.
They even use the money from these older women to take care of the younger girls.
I think that's where the problem comes in, because when these older women find
out, they're so angry. Like, they're so angry. I think I saw this thing in a movie. There's a movie where I think AY, yes, it was AY, and then he acted as the gigolo in that movie. And honestly, because Nollywood industry, most of the movies they do, they are movies that actually explain what is happening. Yes, so that should even tell you that this thing also happened in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, sure, it does.
Even in other industries, in other companies, there are things happening like this kind of situation where before they employ the girl, you have to sleep with them or, you know, something. So now let's talk about the negative effects. What are the negative effects of prostitution?
One of the negative,
for the person.
One of the negative effects is people don't want to associate with them. Because people will not want to be identified with the prostitute.
Yes.
Another thing is
yes, and are we even like all kind of disease now? Are we even like that? People will not be able to associate with them. The thing is, there are certain people who want to be around with them. First of all, for the fame, for the money, the fact that, you know, they have a lot of money and their life is really just so flashy and all of that, because they get money like water because of what they do. The thing is, there are still other people who have moral values, who understand moral values, who are decent. And those are the set of people that will say, you know what you're doing is wrong. And they will judge them and be like, no, you shouldn't be doing this, you know. And that's where the issue of rejection sets in. The issue of, you know what, I'm not sure I can't do this. And that's when they begin to feel somehow. And it's normal. It's normal. I also want to drop the fact that there are times in their life where they get confused.
Yes, very true. They get confused. Where they do, and trust me, some of them really wants to stop.
Yes.
But they are in a position where they don't know if they stop. Okay, what will I do?
Yes.
Because trust me, the money that they are already exposed to, if they now start doing something else,
it's like they are going
same amount of money.
They won't be satisfied with it, because it's like they're taking like steps back.
So they have no choice than to go back to
and that's where moral collapse set in. Moral collapse sets in when you're thinking, you know. And there are times where a young girl, she was good, good girl. Her parents trained her well. Then she gained admission into the university, and then she's exposed to a whole lot of things. Then she start doing hookup, prostitution, and all of that. And by the time she now goes home, there are times where her mother can now sit her down, talk to her, or let's say she finds God, and then she's just in the point where, how did I get here? How did I start doing this? It happens a whole lot, especially in the university. Like, it's something that I've seen with my own physical eyes. I've seen it happen. In this case, the girl experienced like domestic violence. She gave birth, and by the time she discovered what she was doing, she was like, "How did I get here?" Like, at that point, that point where they're experiencing moral collapse, they can commit suicide. Depression can set in, yes. And you're thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? These are the negative effects of, like you said,
most of them, they actually commit suicide because they don't know who to talk to.
Yes.
And when it is too much in their mind, they just become so confused that the next thing they think of is how to just end it.
Yes, end it all.
Because they might be thinking, okay, if I talk to the person, I'll end up being judged.
Yes, the person will judge, and the person will say, okay, why did you even go to this? Just go to the person that you know that you can rely on. The person that won't judge you. Because whether you like them, there are people like that.
Yeah, sure.
There are people that won't judge you. There are people that won't judge you. Hospital is the best place. I don't think hospital will judge you, right? Although there are some doctors that will still judge you. Judge you, but please, and you can pray also. You should honestly, there's solution to every problem. There's a solution to every problem. Now, one other thing is unwanted pregnancy.
Yes, unwanted pregnancy.
I'll talk about unwanted pregnancy and abortion. They're connected.
Yeah, sure, they are connected.
They are connected. So it's a negative effect, especially when you listen to these people. Sometimes you hear that they've aborted like 10 times, 18 times, even more.
I know one funny thing. Most of all these people, they don't have, most of them don't have the plans of even getting married or probably giving birth.
Yes. Even in their marriage, are they still going to be?
There's this popular one that everybody talk about. That is all this set of people that get married to even the good husbands.
Yes. Yes, do you know why? Because the opposites, as in opposite attract. Honestly, there's some married people that you see the man is such a good man, and then you're wondering, how did he miss this woman?
Yeah, sure, it happens.
How it's happens, but to me, I feel like the good people are always attracted to the bad people, because they see like, how come this person is like this? Like they've never seen him before, and they're just like, how come this person is like this? And funny enough, the thing about marriage is you never really know why you choose that person.
Yes.
And some people just get into marriage and then they become renew. Their life just change. But unwanted pregnancy is really bad. Abortion is really bad, especially for your marriage. Just look at your future. Because abortion can end a woman's life.
Yeah, sure.
Especially during abortion with quack doctors, And sometimes it's just the friends or the person that you slept with that will just tell you, okay, use this thing. The thing you don't even know the content. You don't even know the content. Some end up dying because of abortion. I mean, we hear several actresses who have issues with abortion, They have several issues. Some of these diseases that they experience, some are from abortion.
Yeah, sure.
Their womb can be destroyed as a result of abortion. And for unwanted pregnancy, you can end up, taking care of a child that you never expected.
The thing is, most of them, they are not really ready for that.
Yes. They are not financially ready, emotionally ready, mentally ready. And when the child comes, they're like, hey.
And okay, let's say for instance, how do you want them to train that child? Because they are isolated already to this kind of life.
Yes.
So what do you want them
to
do?
What would they even do?
So again, this is how the one of the things they are considering. That's why they don't want to. And moreover, some of them, they don't want to expose that child to the kind of life that they.
But the truth is, the child will definitely be exposed, because as far as you are doing that same thing in the presence of that child, that's where you see a child, giving birth to a child, training the child. The child doesn't even know how to train the child. We didn't even talk about the aspects of poverty being one of the sole reasons for this, being one of the sole reasons for for prostitution, because we see many of these things in rural areas where they just want to shine. All they just think about is, oh, what's the next fine clothes I'm going to wear? What's the next fine shoe? They're not even thinking of the future.
You know, so I won't say sometimes, most times, the environment you live in
matters a lot.
Because it is that environment or people you mingle with that forms your pattern of thought.
Yes.
So I just think most of them, would I say I won't blame them? I can't say. Well,
yes, because their environments are already, their thoughts and their mind are just limited to the environment that they're living in, and they're not thinking of, you know what, I can have a future better than where I am. Even though I'm born here, I don't really have to just remain here. I can rule the world. I can start a business. I can do something big. Because trust me, as far as you can think it, you can do it.
You remember in our last episode we said something about people you live with, the people you mingle with,
they affect you. Exactly. And you said if you are moving with 5 intelligent people, you'll be the 6th intelligent person. So it's really, 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 really important. Then the risk of getting diseases.
That one is
I saved this for the last because it's a big risk. That's like the first, because there was a time I was in an Uber, you know, and I was talking to the Uber driver. We were just sitting and talking, you know, and he was talking about the different type of passengers that he has experienced.
Yes, you know, all those. See, this one I can attest to, because all these Uber drivers, they used to get gist.
Honestly, like gist, like hot gist. Let me tell you this gist. So the Uber driver was talking about how that he experienced different people come to the car, and some, of course, news I've taken it that there are some girls that actually pay these Uber drivers with sex. With sex. They pay the Uber drivers with sex. Apart from that, there are some of these girls that have sex with men even on their period. This one, he told me that he saw the girl. The girl was just like, she was trying to put tissue inside his life because she wanted to go and walk. And that day she said, period or no period, she's going to do it. Like, why risk your life? Why risk your life? Because think about the diseases that are going to come. No.
But something just came to my mind now. You know, most of these girls, they devalue themselves.
Yes, for money.
They think.
Trust me, with this, they are a slave to money.
Yes.
Because they serve money. You're not even thinking of your own thoughts. You're moved by money. And then there are several cases where these girls sleep with dogs for money.
Yeah.
We've had even Dubai, what they do for money in Dubai. Let's even leave the gist of Dubai. Because I'm not going to mention it.
And most of these, another one is, most of them, they think the best they can offer is sex.
Yes.
But it's way more than that.
Yes, you're way more than that. You have a whole lot of gifts that you've not even discovered. You've not seen. You've not thought of. Just chase knowledge, honestly.
See, most of my female friends, I do tell them, get something doing.
Yes.
Learn
a skill, work hard at it, and just keep going. That's where we just started talking about the solution to this problem. Honestly, the first solution is replace it with something else. Work legit. There is something I always say, and that thing is, even though you jump to another level, you will come back to where you started from. You can't skip in life. You can't skip levels, and that's why you see some people using a phone of about $1 million and they can't buy 100 naira recharge card.
See, that one is even annoying. Because see, most of them now, they just want to feel amazing.
Because that level is not for you. And trust me, with time, the universe will take you back to the level you're meant to be. With time, all the things don't last. Sure, the money you're chasing, they don't last. Rather than chase money, try to develop yourself. Because money is supposed to be attracted to you. And not you chasing money. You should get to that point where money is attracted. By the time money is attracted to you, it's you that will be saying, where is money coming from? Well, you don't know that because of the knowledge that you have inside, because of the thing that you already carry inside you. That, you know, there's something people always say is the fact that A tree. Do you know that if you see a tree that doesn't have fruits, you will never be attracted to that tree?
Yeah, sure. Why would we make it to
but yes, in the first place? But now, by the time the tree is fully grown and the tree has fruits, you will go to that tree because of the fruits. And that tree will be so important to you because you can't do without it because you need the fruits. So you should grow yourself till when you start having fruits. And people will start coming to you. People will start coming to you. But by the time you are not there yet, you are still a baby root. You now jump to having fruits.
There will be problems. And one other problem is we didn't even make mention of it is most of these people before they started all this stuff, they are too dependent on men. Oh, God bless you for that. Dependent on men. And when they don't get what they want, they don't see any other solution apart from men. It's not supposed to be. It's wrong ideology. Totally wrong doctrine. Wrong theology. Totally wrong. Everything wrong. Because if they, let me say, they depended on this one. Yes. This one started messing up. Yes. They move to the next one. That one started messing up. They move to the next one. They continue. Yes. Before you know, that becomes a routine until the end of the age. You're just chasing money and you're just sleeping with men exactly, after men. They are not giving anything in return than sex. Yes. So before you know it, it becomes a normal thing. Yes, and it's not supposed to be, because think about your children. Do you want your children to be like you? You can sit down and brood on it and just think about it. If your children are doing this, if your child is doing this, if your younger sister is doing this, to you, is it normal? Is it normal? Is it really normal? So what's other solution? Awareness. You spoke about sex. Awareness. Yes, sex education, creating awareness that this thing is bad. As a parent, also talk to your children, ask them questions. There are certain parents who do not know that their children are doing hookup. Hookup is the word. It's a code. It's a code for prostitution. Hookup is the word, but they might be doing this. You can get to know them. About. They know. Yes, no, you know. You know what we're saying. Those guys, they know. It's wrong. Trust me, it's totally wrong. As a parent, talk to your child, teach them about sex at a very early stage. Try to I know it's difficult as a parent, even my parents, before they can talk about sex, apart from my mom, I'm so close to my mom. I mean, my mom can really just, she will ask me questions, talk to me. It's important as a parent, just try to talk to that child. That child, 14, 13, 16, you think the child is young. Are you sure? Are you sure? And then for the government, it's also creating jobs. Yes, creating more opportunities, is a solution. Creating more opportunities. And as a businessman, try to also help people. Don't just tell them, it's sex or nothing. You're playing. Please, no. It's not supposed to be. Let's try to just, give them job opportunities, no matter how that job is. But as far as they are doing something legit with their ends, it will help them at least stay away from prostitution, because the end result is bad. Very bad. The sicknesses they can get, sicknesses like gonorrhea, syphilis, urinogenital diseases, several other diseases from prostitution is too bad. Like I said, the story of the Uber guy. He said he has met several ladies he helped to stop their blood from flowing, so that they can, he puts his hand inside so that they can go for these jobs. And it's bad. It's terrible. It's really terrible. Moral decadence, like I said. As a young person, you also try to create your own laws for yourself. Tell yourself, what, I won't be moved by peer pressure. I'll be moved by iPhone. I'll be moved by anything. I'm going to work legit until I make it. That can be difficult, but discipline. If you discipline yourself enough, I don't think there's any. Yes, if you discipline yourself enough. We spoke about character the other day. We said character is so important. Have your own character. Now, is a stripper a prostitute? I think that's a question for them. Let's just straight out to them. So that question is for you. Is a stripper a prostitute? Do you think a stripper is a prostitute? Have you patronized a stripper before? Don't be shy. Tell us in the comment section. Thank you so much. Before we close, I just want to say something. All right. Just get something doing.
Get something doing. Exactly.
Be it a male or a female, just get something doing.
Yes. As a male, as a female, get something. As a male, there's actually several jobs. You can go into tech, you can go into entertainment industry, different industries. There's a lot that you can do. There is a lot. Try to just figure out, just learn, touch your hand on different things until you find the particular one that you are passionate about. As a female, like I said, if you want to be a nail technician, work for the person for free for like 2-3 months. Tell the person, you know what, I just want to just help you out. In the midst of that assistance, you will learn.
Yes, you learn a lot.
You can learn makeup. There's several. To me, I don't believe there is unemployment. I really don't believe. Except you just don't want to work hard, or you just don't want to humble yourself. You know. And the government, please also provide jobs. As a businessman, provide jobs. Thank you so much for watching this show. So, is a stripper a prostitute or not?
Is a stripper a prostitute or not?
Drop it in the comment section. Talk to us about it, because we want to hear from you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.